And we are back now for the final series in the group stage of DreamHack Masters Valencia Europe Regional Division. And we are going to be getting ready to get into our TvZ. It's the matchup that's a mouthful. I'm, of course, talking about Spirit, formerly known as Soul, against SoulSpirit, formerly known as SoulSpirit.
Oh boy, our casting abilities are going to be put to the test here, Yaku. Can we get through this tongue twister of a series without messing up too many times?
I will say this is something that I appreciate. At least it's not a mirror.
True.
So at least we can, at least we can fall back on, if need be, referring to SoulSpirit as a Zerg player and Spirit as a Terra player.
For those wondering, we do actually do this whenever we cast time, because we don't want to say the word. Yeah, the word time too often. So Yaku falls to Penan, or I say Terran, or we try to refer to him in a different way. But I feel like, Yaku, to be honest, we have to take the challenge, right? We're not gonna fall back on trying to refer to them in a different way, like the Polish player or the Terran or the KZ. Nah,
Peter,
mate. Piotr,
Alexei.
Nah, mate. It's Soul and SoulSpirit, mate. Let's go.
Yeah, I don't have the right accent to call them by their first names.
True.
So it's SoulSpirit and Spirit, formerly known as Soul.
I'll be honest, I thought his name was Soul. Oh god, no! But my brain is getting it's too much, Yaku. It's too much.
I was fully ready to say Soul, formerly known as Spirit, just because it would have worked well. But I have to remind myself that wasn't an April Fool's prank that he pulled on us. He is now known as Spirit.
There you go. It is real. It is real. Go on.
The more I'm looking at how Spirit is spelled, the more I'm thinking, is that how it's actually spelled?
We're questioning reality right now. Reality, of course, is no longer a pro gamer. It feels bad, man. But if we quickly have a look over !B in the chat for the Liquipedia page, we are currently in Group A, and so we were talking about this before. Group A is the least interesting out of all the groups because we already have players confirmed through and players eliminated. It's just seeding purposes here for a lot of players.
Yeah, and in that regard, Spirit is already confirmed to be making it out of his group and make it to the playoffs. SoulSpirit, however, is not. But at least SoulSpirit beat Raynor.
He did. So again, he's already won in all of our hearts as well. So yeah, we'll see if he's gonna cause another upset again. Because of this, Spirit if he loses, he's gonna come out fourth. If he wins, he could end up in a bit of a higher position, whether it's third, whether it's second, depending on how some of the other series go.
Yeah, again, Spirit, Geralt, and Raynor, I believe, are currently in contention for that second place spot, and that is a spot that you want because you can just skip an entire round. But regardless, we are going to see whether or not that's going to be the case here for our blue Terran player, spawning in the top right-hand corner of the map, all the way in the top right-hand corner of Hardwire. He is going to be representing KZ Gaming, KZG. He is Spirit.
Interesting. Spawning in at the bottom left-hand corner of Hardwire ALE, we have his opponents. We have the French Zerg player himself representing Alien Esports. It is SoulSpirit. Fun fact.
Yes.
I found a bug.
Oh?
In casting tool, when I introduce SoulSpirit, it is correct. When I introduce Spirit, because his name is in the name of the Zerg player, it treats it as if it's SoulSpirit's name, and it shows Alien Esports as the logo instead of KZ Gaming. The casting tool is getting confused right now.
All right, well that's a sign if I've ever heard, if I've ever seen one. SoulSpirit, he wins. There we go. Might as well not play out the series.
Yeah, so I apologize for, again, the introduction of Spirit did show the wrong team logo, and that's because the program that we use to introduce players is struggling right now with their names.
Yeah, the problem is it's spelled the exact same way, so... Yeah, to casting tool, they just, again, treat it as the same name, essentially.
Yep.
If there was an E thrown in there, then, you know.
Yeah, we'll get in touch with the developers and try and fix this for future broadcasts, because I'm sure there is a fix. I'm sure they were just never anticipating a situation where two players had such identical names.
And why would they anticipate it?
Yeah,
a scenario like this.
Shaking my head.
Look, they're bound to have played. They're about to play each other at some point, you know, in the same region, and here they are in the same tournament. Even if Spirit didn't change his name, yeah, it would have been the same issue.
Regardless, here we go. We do have some pretty standard openers. SoulSpirit was able to get his third base on location here, wasn't delayed or denied by the Reaper, and yeah, he's going to be able to open up with his hatch gas full. Meanwhile, Spirit mixing things up across the map. Oh my god.
This is technically a 3cc before starport, but it goes even beyond that. It's a 3cc before factory.
Oh my god, we have seen this once before, if I do recall correctly. I can't remember if it was Spirit who was doing it, but yeah, one of the greediest openers that a Terran player can go for in this matchup. The greediest, I think.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I'm not. I mean, could you even go for 3cc before barracks?
Before max? Not at all, mate. That's wild. That's crazy. So yeah, that CC before factory is insane here for Spirit. We'll see if he can get away with it. Obviously, this will delay any kind of aggression. It delays even. Oh, okay. It should delay any kind of drop or anything like that. Stim as well. We'll see how Spirit is able to make up for that, and again, make something of things across the map.
Yeah, this is even riskier coming out from Spirit, because you know, if you want to be safe doing this opening, you built the factory close to your barracks. You swap the add-on so you can get a couple of Hellions early to defend against Lings. Spirit says, I don't need to worry about that at all. I am just gonna build my factory away from this, and then build a tech lab so I can get Banshees.
Oh my god, I love this! Anyway. Yes, there's no Banshees, Poppy! He's getting a fusion core! He's getting a second starport! Oh!
I cannot believe it has taken us till the end of the group stage light to see such a mad lad walk amongst us.
Oh my god.
Spirit is going for double BCs?
What are we witnessing right now, Yaku? This is insane. Okay, so a couple of things. Right, so Spirit, he gave up a lot not going for the add-on swap with the factory because of this. As you were trying to point out, he has zero map control. He doesn't have anything out on the map delaying his opponent. So SoulSpirit is free to do anything he wants. He can spread creep, he can drone up. Nothing, literally nothing is threatening him. He tries to scout across the map and he sees Marines. Quickly looking at his vision here, he didn't even have an Overlord across the map to scout. He ended up losing his Overlord to these Marines. So he has no idea what's coming. It could be a 2-1-1 for all he knows. This is the last thing on his mind.
That's what I was gonna say. He's anticipating drops. He's building Lings to defend against Marines across the map.
Yeah.
What are they gonna do against 2 BCs?
Exactly. Like, and again, I don't blame him because he sees no Hellions. The only thing that makes sense is 2-1-1, is a Marine drop. And I'm really worried because there are 0 spores made. There's no spore in the main, no spore in the natural, no spore in the third base. These BCs are gonna deal a lot of damage. There are queens, sure, and they have a lot of energy, transfused energy, but we'll see how SoulSpirit can react to this.
Well, the BCs are about to finish up. And I'm liking this from Spirit as well. He's landing the third base. He's making use of that much earlier orbital command, and he's not neglecting his bio either. He's not going full on mech. He is still getting stim. He's getting 1-1. Yeah, this is the first time I'm seeing something like this, and I'm glad that I got to witness it at least once.
Yeah, exactly. Here we go. The 2 BCs do teleport into the main base. 2 spores are thrown down, but it's a little bit too late. Drones are falling left and right. Queens are doing a great job at pushing this away, but that's all they can do.
Yeah, they cannot prevent the death of 10 of these drones. The wall, however, was not a wall for Spirit. Lings are able to get into the natural base and really reciprocate the damage.
And mate,
not quite as much though.
I mean, 7 SCV kills is more, 8, 9 SCV kills, 10 is more than anything should be. This was a massive mistake from Spirit. The wall was not a wall. There was no reason for this to happen. And because this SoulSpirit, he's able to keep up.
Yeah, even get a little bit ahead, I would say.
Yeah.
I don't care if you have mules. You're not going to make up for the worker deficit. But then again, Spirit does have those 3 bases, so... Yeah. He's able to catch back up very, very quickly.
Well, something important to take note of is that it wasn't just that he killed 10 SCVs, it's also that he reset the Marine count. And I'm sure Spirit wanted to follow up with a +1 timing, bearing in mind that he only threw down, with a 1-1 timing. But now any kind of threat of a buy push is gone.
Yeah, this is buying SoulSpirit so much time to build up his defenses back home. This is a ballsy move by Spirit. Let's see if he's able to get away with it. Yeah. One of his BCs already at risk of being taken out. But it does survive, and Spirit gets another cool 10 drones.
Mate, that was beautiful what just happened. To be able to bounce between the bases like that and keep all of his BCs alive. He knew that all the queens were out of position, and he was able to take full advantage of that. In the end, 20 drones have gone down, Yaku.
And now there's no creep on this side of the map. There's no way for SoulSpirit to chase this down and really punish the aggression of Spirit. Spirit gonna go back home, repair, and then harass again with these 2 BCs.
The target fire was insane. 1 drop comes in, and there's not a lot of damage potential with 1 drop, but he targets fires every single drone. 5 more drones go down. Spirit is so on top of crippling the economy of SoulSpirit, and he's kind of doing it. SoulSpirit's keeping up here, but now the push is on the way.
Yeah, Spirit did keep that drop alive, so despite the Marine count being reset earlier on, he was working off of 3 CCs and 5 barracks very, very early on. He has been producing non-stop from every single building. BCs are back with a vengeance.
The BCs, mate, the BCs are back. They do not have Yamato, so don't have to worry about that. The Queens are in position, and they are going to be able to force this back. Meanwhile, he's trying to back up as much Ling Bane as possible. Bathing speed is nowhere near being done, though. They have to waddle in.
Oh, I'm loving the spread of tanks right now from Spirit, but SoulSpirit also doing a pretty good job of distracting fire away from the Ling Bane and into the Queens. That's what you want the tanks to be focusing on as a Zerg player.
Yeah, exactly. There's just no lot of creep here. The Bathings are never going to find any connections. He has to give up the base. The hatchery goes down. He's knocked down to 3 bases in total. Bathing speed will now finish up. So again, SoulSpirit was waiting for that upgrade before he took a fight, but Spirit has already dealt the damage.
Yeah, he's killed the 4th base, and now both players are expanding at the same time. This is going to give Spirit such an edge economically. Mutalists are actually coming out right now from SoulSpirit.
We'll see if it's going to be enough. Again, there's no creep here, so pushing out of creep or pushing, trying to push further on top of all these tanks is not going to happen. Meanwhile, we do have a bit of a Ling run by here. 4 SCVs go down. Not bad at all, but can SoulSpirit deal with the army?
Up. I'm not convinced. The Banelings get some decent connections, but the tanks are still very much alive and they're still providing a lot of fire. Enough Marines survived as well to protect the tanks from the Mutalists.
Mate,
it feels like SoulSpirit's just getting choked out.
Oh my god, the Ling Bane's trying to try and dive on top of the Marines, but it's not going to be good enough. You cannot push off of creep, not like this. They will be able to take out 2, 3 of the tanks, but only the tanks. Meanwhile, the BCs are so aggressive, they took down the 4th base. GG gets called.
Spirit takes game number 1 off the back of the greediest opening you can pull off in TvZ, but he really sold a story there. He really made SoulSpirit believe that he was going for a 2-on-1. He even tricked me for a second.
Yeah.
And I knew that he was going for double, and I knew that he was going for double starport.
Mate, that was disgusting.
That was beautiful. I'm gonna do that in all of my ladder TvZs, and I'm gonna die every single time.
Mate, I feel I
pull it off as well.
I almost want, as a Zerg player, I almost want to delete the VOD. I don't want this to escape into the world and infect all of the Terran players. You know, I have to quarantine this because going for a 3rd TC before factory into double starport production. That was crazy. That was absolutely crazy. And I just love how active he was with his BCs. Multiple times he was not even teleporting back home. He just wanted to deal damage. He wanted to keep the aggression up. That was crazy.
It was absolutely insane. And it's crazy to think that would have been even more. That was supposed to be even more devastating.
Yeah.
That was supposed to be a Marine push follow-up,
Mm-hmm.
a Marine tank push follow-up immediately after the BCs dealt their damage. That was delayed, but it still decimated the forces of SoulSpirit.
Yeah, well, just a lot of it came down to the fact that so much drone damage was being done. So many drones died to the BC. 25, mate. 25 drones. That is game-ending damage. Ooh. And because of that, all the drones had to be rebuilt. SoulSpirit couldn't focus on his army. His upgrades were being delayed as well. Bailing speed was late. What a game one.
And I'm so glad that we're ending off the EU group stage light on an absolute banger of a series. And we're going to be continuing it on Berlingrad, where in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, spawning all the way in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the red Zerg player coming out from the land of France. He is, of course, going to be representing Alien Esports. He is not Soul. He is not Spirit. But he's in a little bit of trouble against Spirit. He is SoulSpirit.
What are you saying? And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Berlingrad ALE, we have the Polish Terran player himself, representing KyZ Gaming. Proxying out on the map, it is Spirit.
The soul is fighting the spirit right now, Light, and the spirit is winning.
The spirit is winning, mate. Double proxy racks. Let's go. Gas at home is being taken as well. Quickly looking at the Overlord pathing, though, SoulSpirit is poised to scout this.
Yeah, it's already got the Overlord in the scouting path, so he should be able to scout this and deny it as well. We'll see how many Marines Spirit is able to pool, however.
Exactly. Like, again, the scouting this is kind of the first step here. The Overlord is so close, and again, as long as he doesn't reroute, he should be able to see this, and he does.
That's step one.
Oh, I love the Marine.
Checked away from SoulSpirit, yeah. Being aggressive with the Overlord as well. I don't think, it should be able to take it out. But if it did, you know, potential to supply block drone, trying to be as annoying as possible, but it is only one drone and we have two SCVs. Bunker being started right now.
Yeah,
but it will be,
the boys are being pulled because the bunker is not going to finish, or it shouldn't finish. It even gets a full surround. Forces the cancel. Spirit is already being stifled here. Can he still pull this off, though? He tries to throw down another bunker.
Yeah, enough creep has spread, however, that the bunker... Actually, it is still in range of the hatchery. Just not quite in range of the mineral line, I suppose.
Exactly, it is still in range, but Lings are coming out. Queens are on the way as well. Again, this bunker's not going to finish. We do have a full surround on the SCV. A couple of drones have been getting picked off, though. One in total, so this is acceptable damage here for SoulSpirit.
Yeah, none of the Marines have gone down yet, but Spirit's starting to push pretty deep into creep. We do have a Queen already in position. So Spirit... shouldn't be able to get too much more done here with his proxy, but he is going to still continue to try to contain SoulSpirit while he techs up back at home.
Yeah,
not expanding, however.
This time, no quick third CC, which I appreciate. Is going straight into his factory and starport back at home to transition. And so far, his Marines are still standing strong, you know, picking off a couple of units here and there, picking off a creep tumor. Has to be careful not to push too deep into creep, cannot get surrounded.
Like... I was gonna say so. Okay, there we go. Loses all of his Marines, loses all of his map control, loses all of his army, as his army supply is literally in zero. At the moment.
Yeah. The Lings confirming that the proxy has been lifted up and is going back home. Lings should be able to deny this natural. We'll see. The Hellions are on the way. Are they going to come out in time? I don't think so, Yaku.
Yeah, I think this natural base is going to be delayed for a long time. Going, but he has the supply depots in position to wall off if need be.
Yeah, exactly. He will delay the CC, turns back around with a couple of these Lings. Lings do get into the main base, but they're going to be cleaned up by the Hellions. Again, doesn't force a cancel on the base, but does slow it down.
Yeah, whatever you can really get right now. You know, SoulSpirit, he's already pretty ahead, so anything from here is just going to have a bit of a domino effect from him. Well, ideally it would.
Yeah,
There's no chance for Spirit to, you know, put put a stall to SoulSpirit's momentum.
Yeah, he's getting a third base on the way. He's actually making a massive wave of lings. He wants to take down this natural, not droning up whatsoever, not taking his gases either, not working towards the lair. And this, we'll see if this works out for him because of that drop. It is coming. It's on the way.
And if it's on position, which it isn't, the Lings are going to be coming in, taking out as many SCVs as it can, forces a liftoff on this natural base. Hellions trying to get whatever they can get done, but the Queens are already in position. The Lings turn around to try to deal with that. Medevac gets taken out. No evacuation available here for the Hellions. Yeah. But they do take out a couple of drones and all of the Lings, so in the end, I still think SoulSpirit, because he was already ahead, he's still ahead, but not the worst trade in the world for Spirit either. Yeah,
it was an okay drop from Spirit, but as we can see, the CC is still not even landed. It's not even an orbital Yaku. So his economy is in shambles right now. SoulSpirit gets his third up and running. He's going into a lair. He's got options. As he takes his gases, he can play this out as a more standard Ling Bane game, or because he's so far ahead, he can try and gamble and he can try and go into a fast Spire.
Yeah, ball is definitely in his court right now. Going for a Spire earlier on though, you've described it about as best as you can. It's very much a gamble, and one that I think he might be making. He's taking every gas. Yeah. He's waiting for Lair to finish up. I don't see a Baneling nest on the way right now. If SoulSpirit goes for a Spire, I think he could straight out lose. If Spirit decides to be at least even a little bit aggressive,
yeah,
and then this is a massive window of opportunity for him to just completely kill SoulSpirit. Baneling nest is on the way, but it feels so late in comparison.
Yeah. Here we go. Spire is thrown down, so SoulSpirit does want to go into the Mutas as fast as possible, but Spirit is playing this a little bit... Oh, no, never mind. I was like, is he playing this conservatively? He cleans out an Overlord in the middle of the map. There is a Baneling nest, but again, no Baneling speed because that was not the priority here for SoulSpirit. The army of Spirit is moving out. Can he deal crippling damage before the Mutas come out?
Well, he's already got Stim, so that's a pretty massive advantage right now for Spirit. Combat Shield's about to finish up as well. A couple of Liberators help support. It helps to help support this push. Again, I feel like these tanks are in a good enough position that SoulSpirit is going to struggle. Is very much going to struggle to defend this third base. Not impossible, but it's gonna cause a couple of losses.
Yeah, exactly. Already a lot of lost mine time here at the third base. Baneling speed is on the way, but again, it only just now started, so it's not going to be ready for this engagement. We do have a lot of Queens, and Queens do have a lot of potential, but one of them already gets taken down.
Oh, the Lynx trying to go in for a surround. The Banelings without their speed do get targeted down by the tanks. I say that, but actually the tanks a little bit distracted by the Queens. One of them gets taken out, and just like that, Spirit has lost so much momentum.
Yeah, exactly. SoulSpirit is surviving right now. That's all he had to do. Mutas are now on the way. Spirit is reinforcing this with those Liberators that you saw earlier. Yo, he gets into the middle line. He's getting drones.
Yeah, 6 drones get taken out. Has to be so careful. Doesn't lose too much to the Banelings, but one more second, and it would have been a different story. Liberators are here to continue harassing, but the Mutalists are now out.
Yeah, the Mutas are out, and they're going to be able to clean this up. Meanwhile, we do already have a Liberator here in the main base. Oh my god, 5 kills on the Lib.
I am absolutely shocked with the amount of damage that Liberator was able to get. The amount of drone damage that Spirit is continuing to deal over here. He shouldn't get too much more. I mean, Mutalists are out here now, but you never know with Spirit. He's an absolute mad lad. Sometimes he just sends a drop, sneaks a drop, and it takes out an entire mineral line.
I am shocked because with the help of 2 Liberators and the Marines slipping into that 3rd mineral line, he takes a worker lead. This is something that I didn't think would happen.
A massive worker lead.
Exactly. Like, again, SoulSpirit just has not been droning too much. His 4th is now on the way, but is a little bit too late. Spirit, mate, he's back with a vengeance. He has another tank. He has more reinforcing Marines. Baneling speed is done, but we don't even have that much creep here.
Yeah, only a handful of tumors are really keeping creep connected at the moment. Decent connections to the Banelings, and I feel like SoulSpirit should be able to defend the 3rd base. He may not be able to push into the army, but his 3rd base should be up and running and continue to mine. I'm surprised that he sent the Mutalists back home.
Yeah, the music go back home. Yo, can they get a tank? No, they cannot. They do try to. They pull away a lot of the attention of these Marines, but every single creep tumor was just cleaned up.
Yeah, once again, the Marines sneaking past the hatchery to take out a couple of drones, but this time there are Mutalisks to defend them.
Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, SoulSpirit's getting ready for a mass around here on those tanks. Can he pull it off? I do believe he has enough army here. And Spirit, oh, he's getting surrounded.
Yeah, there are only 2 tanks. They're very well positioned tanks, but only 2 nonetheless. Spirit will finally give up this position, but he's maintained it for so long and he's dealt so much damage that he's more than happy to give it up, regroup, get ready for round 2.
Exactly. Meanwhile, back at home, we have a bunker set up. We have a couple of reinforcements as well. I don't think this thing run by can really get much done. Does catch a couple of weakened Marines, but only like 1 or 2.
Yeah, Mineral Line completely unharmed in that run by. Banelings were unfortunately a little bit slow to connect with anything. Well, they didn't connect with anything. They were just too slow to get there.
Yeah, exactly. A little bit too far back. Meanwhile, do have a single drop headed out across the map, but it does get spotted here by SoulSpirit. Mutas are en route as well, and this drop is going to get cleaned up.
Just like so. And things are kind of resetting right now. We're back to square one when it comes with both of our players. SoulSpirit macroing up back home, trying to trying to remake those drones, but that is not on his mind at all. 60 drones is what SoulSpirit says. I'm just going to produce army from here.
Yeah, again, it's just a situation that we don't find ourselves in too often, where the Terran player is ahead in workers, plus mules, he is miles ahead. 4th base is already going to be landing on location here, getting saturated faster than the Zerg player, which is crazy. And again, with a couple of scans, a lot of this creep is being receded. It's being cleaned up.
Yeah, even the Queens are in a very vulnerable position. They catch us off creep, but thankfully they do get on creep just in time.
Exactly. Meanwhile, finally, for the first time this game, the Mutas get across the map, and they're going to be dealing some damage. Yo, taking out a gas guys are pulling away the attention of Spirit, finally kind of relieving that pressure from SoulSpirit across the map.
Yeah, taking out a gas geyser, not too bad here for SoulSpirit. After all, Spirit is transitioning now to a very Thor-heavy composition, and that requires a lot of gas. Mines not so much though; they are super cheap.
They are cheap. We got Widow Mines, we got Thors, we got Marines. We have so much that shoots up. Not too many tanks, but again, Widow Mines kind of make up for that in that case. We want me to try to catch a couple of tanks, but they take Thor volleys to the face.
Yeah, it's always the issue with going for Mutalisks in a TvZ like that. You really have to find the weakest position of the Terran player before going in with your army, and this is not it. SoulSpirit trying to send this run by across the map to deal economic damage, but they get caught by the reinforcements.
Exactly. At the same time, the Mutas tried to dive in, but the Mutas took a Widowmine shot to the face on top of Thor volleys as well. So Mutas are getting picked up left and right. There's a double jump here towards... Oh, the Widowmine shot!
Takes out half of the Mutalisks and weakens the other half. Queens are here to transfuse, and they will keep the remaining Mutalisks alive, but the damage has already been dealt. And it's not just the Mutalisks going down. The Mutalisks were distracted, and Spirit pushes in with his main army. GG. Spirit takes that series 2-0 and has a very good chance of potentially making it out second in his group.
GG, well played. I also want to apologize because apparently I didn't have the score set up on the screen for that game. It is a 2-0. Again, the name issue I think threw me off at the start of the game. My apologies. Oh my god. But despite that, I hope it didn't take away too much from the game itself, because that was a wild game. That was a wild series. And wow. I'm shocked. GG.
He's an absolute madman. Spirit is absolute delight to watch. The only Terran player in EU who is crazier than Spirit is his fellow countryman Ziggy, but for obvious reasons, Spirit has had a lot more success.
Yeah, it was a beautiful series. Like I don't know what it is, but even though, so for those wondering, we are the D stream, and because of that, we got last pick on all of our series. But we had some amazing games today. Even this one that was a little bit more like one-sided, and it didn't have as much impact on the overall group. I mean, no series did, to be fair, for Group A. but that was wild, especially game 1, and the comeback in this game as well.
Yep.
Spirit is crazy. Huh.
3 CC before factory.
Before factory
into double BC was what we saw coming out from Spirit on Heartwire. That should not have worked, but he pulled it off because he really sold the sword of SoulSpirit that, hey, I'm going for 2-1. You want to be making links right now, you know? That's what you want to build.
That was wild. Game 1 was even here in game 2, where SoulSpirit was miles ahead. He was cutting corners, to be fair, you know, going into the Spire as quickly as he did, and let's be honest, that Spire didn't pay for itself. The mutas didn't really do what they needed to. Like, they cleaned up Liberators, I guess, and they helped in the overall defense, but he could have done the same thing without it. And for Spirit to come back and somehow take a lead in the workers and maintain that lead, that was crazy. That was crazy.
Yeah, after being down, what, 15 SCVs or something like that, they just killed a bunch of drones, built his own SCVs, and yeah, I'm so glad that this is the series that we end at the CranKy Ducklings conclude the EU group stage with.
Yeah, exactly. I'm so happy with the games that we got, and the series that we were able to cast. Go on.
And I have to say, I think we completed the Spirit versus SoulSpirit challenge.
Well,
we didn't mix them up.
Yeah,
we didn't mix them up.
Yeah, we didn't mix them up at all. You know, we were able to keep it up. Casting tool, our program did mix them up.
Yep.
So, yeah, we're gonna have to try and work on that. And again, outside of me, I apologize for forgetting the scores there in game number 2. The in-game scores, I should say. Outside of that, I'm happy with what we were able to broadcast today, and I hope everyone in the chat enjoyed themselves. If you were tuning in towards the end, again, the previous series that we had here on the D stream, on the CranKy Ducklings, were absolutely insane. A sight to behold. The PvPs as well. The PvPs that we were kind of dreading were also like some of the best PvPs we've had in a long time.
Yeah, Art versus Goblin was definitely very, very close.
Yeah.
Strange versus Petit Drogo was insane. Strange pulled off something that you don't see working too often. Then we had, of course, Hate Me versus DNS, and that was a pretty solid display as well. Something honestly a pretty straightforward game, but an exciting one nonetheless. And now we finally ended off with the absolute Mad Lad series, Spirit versus SoulSpirit, which we thought was going to be a mouthful. Turns out it was a brainful.
It was an everything full. Everything was full here. Oh my god. GG, well played. Again, I just can't believe that Spirit got away with 3cc before factory. I'm really dreading that on the ladder.
Double BC.
I've been playing a lot. I've been laddering a lot more recently because like casting kind of like has been motivating me. This though, I'm scared about this. I already struggle against BC openers, and double BC opener? That's crazy. That's crazy.
I, for one, cannot wait to try this out.
Oh god, no. Not like this. Not like this. Crazy.
And with that, we do have an update here on the bracket ! B to take a look at the groups over here in Liquipedia. Spirit obviously has shot up to second place, but this was also the first series to conclude when it comes to the final day of the group stages. So yeah, it's still up in the air who is gonna whether or not Raynor or Geralt will be able to overtake him and take that second place position. Elazer, however, is already confirmed. He is first out of Group A.
Oh yeah, yeah. Elazer is number 1 in Group A, which is kind of surprising. But again, Raynor didn't have the best group stage. He's still gonna make it through anyway, so I mean, it's fine. But yeah. Shout out to Elazer for coming out first. That's impressive. Yeah, impressive.
I just realized that this is the Polish group.
It is. There's a lot of Polski players.
4 Polish players, and yeah, 3 of them make it out.
Oh boy. I should have had Kuro in here to cast. But thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much, everyone.
Have my jersey.
Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. We do still have a couple more series remaining. It looks like we were the fastest series, so still 3 more to go, I believe. So yeah, check out the other streams. !streams in the chat to get a link to all the other streams available. Give them plenty of love. I'm sure they also have some amazing games going on.
Yeah. Of course, we have. Let's quickly take a look. Scroll down. Hellraiser versus a Laser being casted on the main stream right now. Raynor versus Christiana being casted on the B stream. And Battle B versus Geralt going into the Ace match covered over on the C stream.
Ooh,
so check those out.
There you
if
go.
They sound enticing to you.
Yes, check them out. Meanwhile, we are going to be going on an hour-long break. Oof. So, yeah, you know, it gives you an opportunity to go to the bathroom, maybe get some water, maybe get some food. None of that from the bathroom. But, yeah, you know, you can kind of just prep yourself for DreamHack North America, which is going to be starting in an hour.
Yeah, we're definitely ahead on schedule here today. And there's no way to, well, I don't think wait, is it? Well, we'll play it by ear. We'll wait to see what the admins have to say here, as it looks like there are a couple of players from NA who are here, but not all of them, so...
Yes. Typically, for North American broadcasts, they do not allow us to begin early, so we will probably be starting that on time. The only thing that would stop that from happening is if somehow these EU matches that are remaining go overtime instead. Which is still possible, you know. Some of these games could maybe go to game 2 and then game 3 in a long series. So hopefully that doesn't happen. But yeah, everyone can kind of relax here and prepare themselves for NA. And again, you're gonna need to mentally prepare yourselves because NA is gonna be crazy.
There's a reason why the saying is never go full NA.
Never go full NA, mate. And we are going to, again, in 1 hour. I guess now that we're closing out DreamHack EU, thank you so much, Yaku, for staying up to cast this with me. I know it's had a really bad time for the both of us.
I woke up at like 7 p.m., so...
Oh, really?
We're safe. Nice. Well, not at 7 p.m. I woke up at like 3 p.m. and then stayed in bed till 7 p.m.
Likewise, I think I woke up at like 6 p.m., 5 p.m., something like that. Yeah. For those wondering, both of us, we live at a pretty bad time zone for European broadcasts. Yaku in Singapore, myself in Australia. So currently it is 5 a.m. here. The broadcast started at 1 a.m. So we absolutely ruined our sleep schedules to bring you as much European StarCraft as we can.
It was worth it.
It was worth it, actually.
Yeah. Great way to end off the group stage, IMO. I think, honestly, we got the best series today. We didn't get to choose, but I feel like if we did choose, then we wouldn't have gotten games that were as exciting.
You're not wrong, mate. You're not wrong. So thank you so much, everyone, for watching. I know there are some people who may be tuning out and maybe going to bed after DreamHack EU, but again, if you can, I highly recommend staying here with us until DreamHack North America, where plenty more matches are going to be played. Not as many. There are only going to be 2 series per stream, so going to be a relatively shorter broadcast, but a broadcast nonetheless, and exciting games nonetheless.
Yeah. And similar to EU, a lot of the results have already finished up here. However, if we look at, I'm not sure if we have the bot set up yet. If you press !B, but I mean, you can always just click over to North America from there. Group A still has plenty of players who are still up in the air whether or not they are going to be making it out in the group. 4 of them specifically, all vying for 3rd and 4th position. In Group B, there are only 2 players remaining who are fighting for the 4th spot. One of them is Captain America himself, the good old Can, coming out from, not Canada, but the US of A. The other one is our very own CranKy Duckling, old mate Miguelito.
Beautiful, mate.
And that's going to be super intense.
So everyone stay tuned for that. Meanwhile, we are going to be going on that extended break. I say extended break. We're going to head off because I've just been confirmed that it is not going to be an extended break. And that it, in fact, is going to start soon TM as soon as all the series finish.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Okay, thanks everyone for watching. We'll be back. Not in an hour, but we'll be back in potentially,
soon.
yeah, potentially 10 or so minutes.
Yeah. It's going to take time.
See you soon. Ciao.
Bye. Bella.